Welcome along to today's session covering Sage 50 Accounts 2014 for accountants in practice. My name's Liz and it's my pleasure to spend the next half an hour or so taking you through the benefits of this new version of our market-leading software for you and your clients. This is an interactive session, so if you do have any questions whatsoever, then please don't hesitate to type them into the WebEx chat panel. I'll read them out at the end of today's session and do my best to answer them. So the product we're looking at today is Sage 50 Accounts 2014. So, as you would expect, with this new version of Sage, we've been gathering up all your wish list items and changes in legislation, etc. to bring you our new flagship software for the new year. So I just want to recap initially on some of the findings that we had in our recent Pulse survey. So this is our annual survey to accountants. You tell us what your ambitions are, but we also survey your clients to see what they want from their accountant. And the good thing is that they want more. So I just want to draw out the relevant areas of where Sage 50 Accounts 2014 will be able to help achieve this. At the end of the session, we'll have a chat about what's next after today's seminar. And then, as I mentioned, there'll be time for questions at the end. So anything at all on the way through, just type it into the WebEx chat panel and I'll do my best to answer it at the end. So there were a number of things from the Pulse survey that I guess weren't a surprise, that nearly 9 out of 10 of you are looking for new clients. Over half of you want to sell more services to existing clients, with 11% of you looking to diversify the services that you offer clients by offering brand new specialisms. Now we'll have a look at the differences between what your clients want and what you think they want. So there is a lot of good news in here. If you want to see more information from the Pulse survey, the full survey results are available on our Exchange website, and I will be taking you through onto the Exchange website just later in today's presentation if you've not been on there before. But I'd just like to bring some of the key differences to your attention at the moment. Minimising tax liabilities. So your clients want some more support from you in this area. They want more advice and consultancy. And they want more support around managing of and filing of the accounts. And they want more around navigating new regulations. And there have been a lot of changes recently with the introduction of real-time reporting for payroll. And then we've got the next big thing coming clients' way, being the automatic enrolment for pensions, which is a lot more complex and there's a lot more mandated as part of that as well. The other thing that came to light is that clients want to talk to you more, which is great, because through those conversations you can then discover more opportunities as well. But for me, there was obviously a key theme here, and that they want more support around compliance, so the 3 areas that are highlighted. So that leads us on to some other things that they also want help from you with. They want to be more competitive. They want you to help them remain resilient during these challenging times. And no surprises, they also want some help with their cash flow. There are key challenges businesses need your help with. Those are managing compliance, being resilient, being competitive, being connected with you, and also finding different ways to connect with their customers, suppliers, and key stakeholders. To always receive and deliver great customer experience, and as you would expect, efficiency from their software. So, just for a bit of fun, chocolate is more than calories. So this lovely lady features in our 2014 campaign. I'm assuming that she's baked that cake. It looks nice, much better than any of my feeble attempts at baking, and it probably has a lot of calories in it. However, it's also VATable. Gingerbread men, if they have no icing, there's no VAT on them. If they have some icing, say a couple of eyes and a couple of buttons, then they are VATable. So I'm sure you're well aware that VAT is a very complex area, and an area where you continually support your clients. There's also a recent article on Accountancy Age discussing disputes with HMRC, and 60% of the time HMRC aren't winning the disputed cases, and this is because you support your clients and you work with them on these complex inquiries. And it keeps your clients awake at night. But does it? The feedback we had when we were out all over the country delivering 2014 roadshows was it doesn't keep your clients awake at night, it keeps you awake at night, or working late in the office, trying to find the errors, trying to resolve difficult VAT queries and negotiate with HMRC, making sure that claims are being filed correctly, all during the same time. So I just want to share a few facts with you here, just because we do like a statistic or two here at Sage. So things such as HMRC are closing hundreds of inquiry offices, and here at Sage we manage 1,500 VAT specific calls per month, and from those calls we'll often direct them to you for accountancy advice. But also remember the poor Gregs the bakers, the pasty tax. Is it hot? Is it not? A bit of a complex area for businesses to ensure that they are compliant. We want to make sure that we support you and your clients to make sure that the VAT is correct. So for you, you spend time dealing with client errors. If only there was a way to work out what those errors were more easily, ideally trying to mitigate the risk of them. When there is a problem, is there an easier way of managing client mistakes? And then from your client's point of view, think about the last client you introduced to Sage 50 accounts. How did they feel when they had to do their first ever VAT return through the software? Were they starting to panic? Did they have sweaty palms? Were they going a little bit pale? Did they say, do I actually really push this button now? Am I going to do something wrong if I click? It's all about giving them the confidence to follow that routine, making it easier to manage, being confident it's correct, and being there when they need support. With that in mind, we've made some changes around how VAT is managed. The lady in the glasses is smiling. She's done her second VAT return using the brand new version of Sage 50 Accounts 2014, and she's absolutely delighted at how easy it all was. So we'll just jump into the software now and I'll take you through the changes that we've made from the VAT point of view. So here we are in 2014. It's pretty much the same look and feel you're used to. However, the eagle-eyed among you will notice the new message button at the top right hand corner. So this is where you can keep up to date with relevant information from the Sage through the software with our live link functionality. So we still access VAT in the same way as we did previously. So if we go into our Manage VAT area, within the VAT return itself, there are key elements to the return. and they can be split into 3 different areas: preparing it, reconciling it, and completing it. And there are different activities at each of those stages. And I'm sure I can see you all smiling through your computers to say that that looks quite a nice layout. So we have changed it to be more organised around how you actually complete your VAT return. Transactions are verified at the point of doing the VAT return, and you can configure this to identify any missing transactions and duplicates. So you're prompted to take a backup, the date range including your reconciled transactions, and then you've got your VAT verification settings in there. So if we click into the settings, so you can configure this to identify any missing transactions, any duplicate entries, and any other potential issues that may affect your VAT return. Now, all through the software you've got access to help. So at any point in time you can click in and it will jump you through into the relevant section within our help system. So we have introduced lots of things like show me how videos. So we know that lots of people use YouTube, for example, to get videos to do things for the first time, just to give them that bit of added confidence. But our context sensitive help system is also really good at supporting you. So you will find some videos embedded in here as well, which are just hosted on our YouTube channel. There's lots of additional resources in there as well. So when you're happy with your VAT verification settings, you can calculate your VAT return. It's noted a few late entries, so whether I want to include these, I could print them off, I could send them out to Excel to verify them, or I can simply just include them in the return. You'll notice that I'm on to stage 2 now of reconciling the VAT return, and it's popped up with an amber triangle, should I say. So, what's Liz done wrong? So I can view the results of the verification. So we can see that I've got 7 possible duplicate transactions in here. So have I been a bit trigger happy with my F6 copy button when I've been processing transactions? So I could go away and investigate them. Again, the to Excel button was a great feature that came in last year. But maybe forgotten to update some ledgers. Have I got orders that are delivered but not invoiced? So really handy functionality to make sure that your VAT return is complete before it's submitted. And any other potential issues in there as well. When you're happy with all of that, you can close out of there and you can make the relevant adjustments. So you still get the option to do your adjustments. It's just again laid out in a slightly more obvious fashion in 2014. So you can adjust your reported figures. Gone are the days of writing it a different value on your tax return to those that you have online. And then you move on to your reports. So a nice central way of printing your VAT return and getting access to all of your reconciliation reports within the one area. If you're happy with all of that, reconcile your VAT return, stamp reconciled. So how good does that look? And then there's always been a question in the past about who does the submission. So we've got in the top right hand corner our VAT transfer journal and a simple post the journal button here. And then to submit to HMRC yourself, or if you've already submitted the return using another method, you can mark it as submitted. You can view your adjustments, you can record your bank payment, and then you can view your verification results at any point. So you can then feel confident that you've successfully submitted your return. So you can see why the lady's smiling, because we're there to hold her hand with the new VAT edition of Sage 50 Accounts 2014. So just to summarise, we've improved the management of VAT. We have a new Show Me How videos, verification, corrections, submission management, payment management. We've got our in-product messaging and our services. So that makes it easier for your clients to get up and running. That gives them confidence, knowing that it's going to be accurate and efficient, and we're there all the way through to support them and to give them guidance as required. So moving on, let's now look at how we've risen to help your clients face competitive challenges. If you have any clients on VAT cash accounting and they trade abroad, you'll be over the moon, as this is now supported within Sage 50 Accounts 2014. We've also now made the foreign trading functionality available as a separate module, so your clients don't need to upgrade to the professional variant of the software. If you have any clients that would benefit from this, we will be sending out pricing very shortly. I don't need to demonstrate Foreign Trader, as it works exactly as it has before, but it now works with VAT cash accounting as well. What I do want to show you, however, is the improvements for your clients who have to manage stock. So businesses that try new product lines, for example, find others then become redundant, and they can end up with really large product lists. They also want to know at the point of order what stock is available to be able to fulfill that order. So to show you this in practice, I'll just jump back into Sage 50 Accounts and we'll have a demonstration of the stock element. So if I open up my product module, I'm sure some of your clients will have stock lists very similar to this, where they have numerous items marked as do not use. So my colleague Jim in the warehouse has done a stock take and been very efficient by logging it all on Excel. So I would normally have had to key all of the stock take values directly into Sage, but instead I can now use the great new feature called Import. So if we go up to the stock take option, you'll notice under stock management, I'll just move this over for you, that we have the ability to import. So if I browse to my stock take document that Jim has kindly prepared, and I know it's the product code that matches the stock code, and it's the quantity in stock that matches the actual. So if I click on to next, I'm now ready to import my data. So Jim has got Excel in the correct format, so he's done a great job. All of those records have all been imported. So I can then click on to close. You can see they've all been updated, and then I can post that stock take. And then under stock management, you can also manage your opening and closing stock. So you can give it a reference. So I'll just call it Liz. Details webinar, so we don't confuse matters. And you can put in a closing stock value, or you can calculate it, and the software will calculate it based on what's already in there. And then you can post your transactions. And then my stock has then been updated. So now that the stock take has been processed through the software, it would be a good idea at this time to get rid of those redundant items marked do not use. So under your period end option, you have the option in there to selectively clear your stock now. So instead of clearing transactions in all 107 stock records, I can select the products that I want to clear the stock for. I want to clear the transactions against those 2 items, and we'll just clear them up until the 19th of July and click on to clear stock. It's prompting me to take a backup before I do so I'll do that right now. That's a clear stock being completed, and below there we now have the ability to delete the stock records. So it will do a scan. Again, I can back up before it does that. Always better to be on the safe side. And then the products that can be deleted are then listed below. So again, you just select the relevant items, click OK, and it does warn you it will permanently delete these 2 product records. That's why you always take a backup in case you make a mistake. So a nice simple improvement for your customers that use stock. So there's your product list with those items removed. Just one other thing to show you in here before we jump back to the presentation. As I mentioned, you've now got the ability to check the stock when you actually enter an invoice. So say you want to raise an invoice. In here, you'll just choose the item and you'll see that on your product lists you have free stock now. So I wouldn't want to guarantee that I'd be able to send somebody a whiteboard because I am waiting on stock to be delivered for that. However, I could sell them an A4 ledger book if that would interest them at all, because I have that stock actually sitting in my warehouse at the moment. Okay, so that was an overview from the stock point of view. So as I mentioned, we have Foreign Trader available as a module now on all variants of the software. So whether your client's on Sage 50 accounts, Accounts Plus, doesn't matter, they don't need to upgrade to Professional to get Foreign Trader. And Foreign Trader can also now manage VAT cash accounting, which is a great improvement. Stock itself, being able to manage the data, be able to update the opening and closing stock, to import a stock take from Excel, and check real-time availability on those items. So that all makes it easier to manage trading abroad, more affordable, gives your clients the confidence and the control, keeps everything very efficient and accurate, and improves the customer experience, both from your client's point of view, but also from people that they trade with as well. So we'll now move on and have a look at the changes in terms of charities. So you're probably aware that the software has dealt with charities for a number of years. There have been recent changes in compliance, however, around the small donations. So we have incorporated this into the software. And I'll just jump into a different company now to be able to show you it from that point of view. So if any of you haven't used the charities module before, it is perfect for charities. It's got the SOFA categories in there. The nominal list itself is all designed to make it easier to manage funds, for example. And under your company module, you've got access under your links to your charity launchpad. So one thing we've changed around the gift aid small donation scheme is that you have to record additional information about donors now. So when we go into our enter donors or members area, if I was to set up a brand new customer or donor, then there's some things that it won't allow me to move on unless I've got all the relevant fields set up correctly. So if we just enter me, for example, I'll just put that I'm a donor. And you put the default fund against me. You've received a gift aid declaration from me. When it's valid from, I could just put today. And if we go to save that record, it pops up saying that there's insufficient information to mark this donor for gift aid, because we know to receive gift aid that they have to have a relevant address in there as well. So that's just some new requirements following the introduction of the new legislation. The other area which has changed is your GASDS settings. So again, your gift aid for small donation scheme. So depending on the charity that you have as a client, their annual entitlement can change. So in here you have the default amount of 5,000, but this is where you can amend the settings should the legislation change. And there's also being able to amend the settings, so you tick the relevant box, and if any of those amounts change, you have only to change them if instructed to do so by HMRC. But that has all been incorporated into the 2014 version going forward from there. We've also supplied you with a new report. So either I've got it set up as a favourite in here, but normally you would get it just through your charities menu. We've now got an unsubmitted gift aid and tax repayment claimed report. Now I have heard of one gentleman who said that this took him about 3 days to compile manually. So we know that it is a time saver. That just extra peace of mind to make sure that you've got absolutely everything completed, so you're getting the full relief on any donations. So those are the main changes within the charity module itself. So charities is a module. It's not any additional charge. It comes as standard. You just have to select when you set up your company that you set it up as a charity rather than a standard business. You can record gifts and donations through the software. You can set thresholds and limits for the small donations. And we've also improved the gift aid reporting and submission process as well. So it all gives your charity clients that bit of extra peace of mind, confidence and control that it's all accurate, and it makes it much more efficient. We know that a lot of time people are volunteering their time to do charity accounts, so the more we can make it easier for them, then the better. So I just wanted to remind you of a few areas how you can keep connected with your clients. So we've got 830,000 businesses using Sage. So there's a huge opportunity for growth for your practice in there, and adding existing services on. And it helps to keep you connected as well. From the Sage point of view, we obviously support you and your clients. As I mentioned at the outset, we've got our new product messaging to keep you up to date with anything to be aware of through the software. So it just gives you that bit of extra peace of mind to make sure that you're up to date with everything, and the confidence and support for you and your clients, knowing that it's all backed up by the guys in Sage with the expertise to do so. From a banking point of view, it's a great efficiency if you or your clients take advantage of the e-banking functionality. Now, it has been in the software for a number of years, but it is being improved all the time with, the majority of business bank accounts are now able to import all of the transactions in to Sage, so you can do an e-reconciliation instead of manually sitting with the bank statements and ticking off the items. And there's absolutely no additional charge for the e-banking functionality. That's all in there as standard. There are some changes to be aware of coming up in the future in relation to the single European payments area, and that's been introduced this year because it does come into effect in Ireland very soon. For those who haven't had a look at Sage Pay before, this is the credit card processing element. It is a separate charge, but it does integrate very well with Sage 50 Accounts 2014. And through Sage Pay, we now offer the chip and pin hand terminals as well. However, you can still do things like over the phone payments as well. So just another way of your clients staying connected with their customers, making their business more efficient and getting that cash flow speeded up as well. In terms of HMRC, you know that we've got all of the online VAT submissions. We've been through that earlier on today. That's been in the software for a number of years as well, but obviously improved with 2014 in terms of the process of producing, reconciling and submitting your VAT return. But we also have functionality available such as CIS returns through the software. That is an additional module. It is chargeable separately. It's roughly a couple of £100. It's a one-off payment for you or your clients, and it allows you to submit the CIS 300 returns directly from within the software. Works really well. We do offer separate one-to-one demonstrations on CIS. And from the web point of view, you know that we provide you with lots of help, lots of Ask Sage articles which are written by the support guy. So if we get lots of calls on the same item, then we will produce an Ask Sage article that you can refer back to at a later date as well. And from the mobile point of view, we have been offering Sage 50 mobile for quite a few years as well now. So it means that you can have access to your information when you're out and about. It's a free app which you can download from the App Centre. So whether you're on an Apple or a Android phone, you'll be able to get access to that free app. It means you can view all your customer records. You can actually create invoices and things like that in there as well. So really good functionality. And when it comes to third parties, we do have roughly about 600 applications that are set to connect with Sage. So these are written by software houses outside of Sage, but they're all designed to integrate seamlessly with Sage 50 accounts. So more information on them can be found on the Editions page, which is just sage.co.uk/editions. You're able to narrow down by the type of business your client has. So if you're looking for an EPOS system or till functionality or something, then feel free, go on there, see if there's something that's set up that will make your client's life much easier. So tackling the challenges. So I'm sure you've seen some improvements in 2014 that can help with that. So compliance, resilience, competitiveness, connected, better customer experience, and overall we want to improve efficiency. So from invoicing customers and paying suppliers to dealing with every aspect of VAT, our market leading accounts package will help your clients manage their business more effectively. So there's our lovely lady back with her lovely chocolate cake again. It's just about that time in the afternoon, but that would be really nice. So this is a message that will be leading our marketing campaigns for Sage 50 Accounts 2014, not only from Sage, but also for you to help you market 2014 to your clients if that's something that you're interested in doing. To help you prepare, we offer Sage 50 Accounts 2014 technical webinars. Now they've been running for a week or so now, but we do have a few left, and you can book on them through the resources area of Sage Exchange. So we've got one on the 31st of July, and then the 5th and the 8th of August, and they're all at 9:45 in the morning. They're run by our priority support team. So they are more from the technical side, so it will go into the things we've looked at in a bit more detail today. Marketing webinars. We are about to launch a programme of marketing webinars to help you market your practice, and also to look at making the most of things like the Sage Exchange website as well. Data profiling. I've got a wee bit more information on that further on, but basically just speak to your own Sage account manager. They'll be able to arrange that for you so you can see what version of Sage your clients are running currently. Provide you with marketing collateral, also through our Exchange website, and I'll just jump to that in a moment. And we also provide seminar support for your clients, so if you would like to arrange something at your own practice or a venue of your choice, then our business consultants that work out in the field will be able to come and present on your behalf to your clients the new version of Sage 50 Accounts 2014 or any other Sage software that you'd like to kind of arrange a session around. So resources to help your practice. So if I just jump out of here and we'll just have a look at the Sage Exchange site. If I can spell, here we go. So sage-exchange.co.uk/50-accounts-2014. So you can also link to it from the front page of the Sage Exchange site as well. Now you should have your personalised URL to get you in there. If you don't know what it is, there will be a link up the top here if you're not logged in to log in with your personalised URL. Once you're logged in, you'll be able to come and download the relevant resources. So you simply click onto the blue area, and that will give you access to the resources. So there's where you sign up for the new features webinar by the support team. Gives you an overview of what's been added, why to upgrade from an older version, and it also gives you access to a nice client brochure covering the new version. We give you lots of different email templates on the different elements. We've got signatures to add into your emails. And then there's some of the resources available to you as well if you were going to be running a seminar covering Sage. And as I mentioned, we do provide you with lots of videos through YouTube now, which you can access completely free of charge, just to give you that bit of added help and support in areas that you might not have seen before. I'll just jump quickly to, I have the new brochure on mine, so I'll just open that up for you. So that's just a quick look at the 2014 brochure. So that's available for you to download from the Exchange site. It's a PDF document, so very easy to manage. And it just takes you through what's in the new version, how it makes it all a bit easier, how it takes the worry out of doing your VAT, introduction of foreign trade as a module, Sage 50 Accounts Mobile, your stock and your gift aid, and just staying connected. So feel free to download that from the Exchange site as well. So the software is released on the 1st of August. And you will be getting it a couple of weeks before it's available to your clients, so it will be available to them in the middle of August. You can download it on the 1st of August. The CDs will also be shipped on the 1st of August, so you'll get them a few days after. Get your practice up to date. Obviously, as many people as you need to can attend the webinars, so be that one of these overview sessions. There is another one been scheduled for Friday, so just book on in the same way as you booked on to this one, or one of the technical ones, or feel free to attend both. And communicate with your clients. So make use of the resources on the Exchange site, and just speak to your account manager if you'd like to arrange an event at your own practice or a venue of your choosing. Your account managers are there to work with you, so they'll do whatever they can to make sure you've got what you need. Our commitment to you is delivering and developing propositions to add value, to increase your competitiveness and to attract new clients. We provide solutions that support requirements of today and the future. So we have auto enrolment sessions just about to commence, Sage 50 2014 and working online. And we work with you from a marketing support and also managing the relationship that you have with Sage through your Sage account manager. So what's next after today's session? So to get in touch with us, it's the 0845 111 1111 number. There is a hidden option, which is the number 7, and then you can type in the relevant manager's extension number and you'll get straight through to them. You can arrange data profiling for your clients through your account manager. You can get quotes to upgrade, and you can obviously consider Sage Cover Extra for any of your clients that are on a bit of an older version. Make use of the Sage Exchange resources to promote Sage 2014 to your clients, and remember to promote it to prospects as well. And as I mentioned, feel free to arrange the Sage seminar. It is completely free of charge for the business consultant to come out and present the software to your clients on your behalf. So that just brings us to the end of today's session, and I would welcome any questions through the WebEx chat panel.